Are we going? Hello.
Hello.
That was rough.
It was.
I have to keep it in.
We love that.
We do. My name is Brea.
And I'm Tegan.
And welcome to Brain Soup.
And today is our talkie.
Today is a talkie about something. No trauma today. Maybe a little trauma.
There's gonna be trauma.
But it's personal trauma.
It's personal trauma.
Yeah. So nobody else's trauma but ours today.
Great.
So today
Which we will give free will on talking about our trauma.
Yes, it's our turn.
Yes.
It's our turn. There's nothing spooky. Maybe something spooky. I don't know. I don't think anything spooky.
No.
Okay.
I had to think of my first one.
The trauma.
Well, it did relate to trauma. A little trigger warning for this one. There might be a little little hard spots. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. We're getting some personal. We're getting personal with today's episode.
Very personal.
But some mine are random. A lot of mine are just weird that I have. We're talking about tattoos today.
Very much so.
If you haven't caught on to what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Funny thing is that I said I would never get a tattoo in my life.
Really?
And that lasted until I was 19.
Really?
And that's when I got my first one, was when I was 19.
I got my first one when I was like 16.
Really?
Uh-huh. I think I was 7. After my 7. I think I was 17. If I think the timeline right. I think it was December of my 17th year. Hello? Your phone vibrated?
It said Twitter.
It said Twitter.
I bet you it's lemon.
Probably.
No.
Ah.
It was not lemon this time.
Gosh. Anywho, how many tattoos do you have, Tegan?
I have 6.
Mm-hmm. I have 11.
So we're going to go a little bit of I talk about 1, Brea talks about 2, just to make it even.
Yeah. There's going to be an odd one.
Yeah.
I gotta go get a tattoo right now. Bye. No.
I almost got a tattoo like last week.
Really?
I thought about it.
My one's healed.
Mm-hmm.
But I probably won't. Well, also I'm broke as hell right now because of my trips and stuff. So I can't afford a tattoo. I don't know what I would get next. It takes me a little while to plan out my tattoos unless I get real fixated on something that I'm like, I need that on my body right now.
I know my next one, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. My last one, the last healing process was a little traumatic for me.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was not vibing. I was not feeling it. And you'll know why, because the placement of it.
Oh, yeah. I don't understand how you did it.
I don't know how I did it either.
Because my cousin got one in the same area.
Oh,
and
no.
I don't even know how
No.
she did it.
Anywho, do you want to go first?
I guess I would have to go first.
Yes.
So we teased my first tattoo a little bit on the Facebook page is where I think I posted it.
Yes.
I don't think I posted it anywhere else. I don't think you posted it.
I don't think I did.
If you haven't guessed, I take care of a lot of the Twitter and Facebook, and Brea takes care of a lot of the Insta.
And I upload the podcast every week, so it's my bad when it's late.
So if my posts are late on, or if any Brain Soup posts are like technically like late in quotations, it's normally my fault on Facebook.
Yeah, and my fault on Instagram or just the podcast I post it to YouTube every week. I post it to our other places every week, and yeah,
it's just been a time, like we've said.
We have said multiple in the last 2 episodes. We've explained our times.
It's rough.
It's been rough.
So, my first tattoo I ever got was of Just Survive Somehow from The Walking Dead. And as we said in the Walking Dead episode is that The Walking Dead is my number one favorite show. It's because I grew up with it, and it got me through a lot of hard times, along with Drag Race, which I'll get to that later. So my first tattoo, my mom said if she ever saw me walk in with a tattoo, she'd basically throw me out.
Oh, wow.
And she does not like tattoos. My dad has a flag tattoo that he got when he was a teenager. But my mom has never liked tattoos, and here my brother and I both are with tattoos all over the place. But my brother texted me one day, and he said him and his wife were going to go get tattoos. Did you want to come? Because I had been kind of toying at the idea that I kind of wanted one, because this tattoo itself got me through a lot of trauma growing up.
Wait.
That was what?
I realized. Okay, no, I got it. I thought I missed one.
Oh, no.
I have it.
Okay.
Sorry for interrupting you.
You're fine. My parents got divorced when I was, 17? Maybe? Yeah. And I went through a really, really rough spot, like big time rough spot, because I heard my parents arguing constantly in high school. And I heard, my room was upstairs, and I heard them arguing from upstairs. And I brought the idea up to my brother that I considered getting this tattoo because Just Survive Somehow is something that got me through high school. Like, I didn't know if I was going to make it through high school.
Yeah.
And getting this tattoo, my brother knew would be a lot to me. So he said, want to hang out? I said, sure. And my mom said, where are you going? I'm like, Jay and Anna and I are going to hang out. I didn't tell her I was getting a tattoo.
Oh, my gosh.
And I get the tattoo. It's on my ribs, which is not the best place to get your tattoo. Your first tattoo, anyway, it's one of the most painful spots among what a lot of people say. I didn't flinch at all for mine.
Really?
At all.
I wouldn't. No, I don't have. All my tattoos are on my arms and legs. I have none elsewhere, which I need to get on that because, I want to get like a sternum tattoo, but we're not going to talk about that because of my reaction to my one. So.
And I got my tattoo, and I go home, and I go into the garage where my mom is, and she sees the guilt in my face.
Oh, no.
And she's like, what'd you do? And I basically told her what I did. Well, I showed it to her. And I saw the look on her face, and I knew she was disappointed, but she knew the reason behind it, and she knew how connected I was to it. And she ended up not caring afterwards because she knew that I was not in a great spot mentally, and I needed something to be a constant reminder. It was in a hidden spot, which is a lot where my tattoos are. They're all hidden for the most part.
For me, too, because the way I dress.
And, yeah, Just Survive Somehow is still my number one thing I live to this day.
It's a good quote to live to.
And that episode of The Walking Dead is very sad.
It is very sad. I remember it.
I just watched it yesterday.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
I think. Okay. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Is me? All right. So my first one is on my wrist, and it has like 6 different meanings to me, honestly. Like, I got tattoos for like my family members. I have a whole like plan, that I need to get back to because I haven't got one in a while for a family member. But I have a whole plan like listed out how I'm going to do it. So my first tattoo was a cloud on my wrist with my grandpa's handwriting under it that says pretty girl, which is what he calls me. So I took a letter that he wrote me, and I had the tattoo artist write out like the name or it's my grandpa's handwriting. So it's very special to me because my grandpa is like my favorite person ever. This man like raised me. He would get me up for school in the morning, even though I was a brat. He would, like, he's just my everything, like, period. So I wanted something to represent him on my wrist. So I said that the tattoo had like 12 meanings because it does, because it also has clouds. My nickname's Cloudy. I don't even know why. I probably a little inkling why. Because there's a YouTuber I like named JC Kalen, who's like my biggest inspiration for everything I do in my life. Like, he's the one who kind of first introduced me to wanting to do production stuff. It was like YouTube. I wanted to be a YouTuber at the time until I realized what else you could do with cameras, because I mean, he didn't just do YouTube stuff. He would make these little, travel documentaries and stuff. And I was like, wow, I want to do that. So he has a cloud tattooed on his wrist. So that's like the second meaning. And over time, I just kind of fell in love with clouds, and they became a part of my personality too. So clouds, in a way, like represent a happiness, a positivity, all those positive words. And that's why I wanted to get it to represent my grandpa, because he's my happiness and my positivity. And so I have a part of him forever on my body, on my wrist, his handwriting. So that is my first tattoo. My second tattoo is my Julie and the Phantoms tattoo.
You love your Julie and the Phantoms.
I love my Julie and the Phantoms. If you guys don't know what Julie and the Phantoms is, it is a kids' TV show that came out right around the time of COVID. So all around a rough time in, life for everybody. But then this silly little ghost band TV show comes out with these like 3 silly boys and a silly little girl, and I'm like, oh my God, I love them. And 2 months after I first watched, not even 2 months, like a month after I first watched the show, I went and I got it's 3 little ghosts to represent the boys and their instruments, because they're a band. And to me, that just represents my senior year of high school, COVID, that show, when anything would happen, that show would be my comfort. What The Walking Dead is to you is probably what Julie and the Phantoms is to me, because the music is just, whenever I need to think like about happy, or like that I need to get through something, the song Stand Tall from Julie and the Phantoms is what I listen to. So I just, I love it. I have lyrics from Stand Tall, which I'll get to, because it came at a separate time, on me as well. But, it reminds you to stand tall. Right. You've got this. It's your life. You do you. And, you move along with it. Positivity, again. And, COVID, I was going through a really rough time at COVID. Like, my senior year of high school was being taken away. Yeah. But also, somehow, I had a really good senior year, because I had this kind of steady, me and 2 people who were like, we were together every day together, because we were our own little group. And so that's also what it represents to me, is that time in my life with those 2 people that I don't really have anymore as, we grow up. Because that was a good time in my life, I like to think. So that's what my Julie and the Phantoms, my 3 little ghost boys, represent to me.
That's a very cute tattoo as well.
And it's very cute too. It's just, even without knowing what Julie and the Phantoms is, it's just like a little ghost band.
I think it was on your shirt that you were wearing earlier, isn't it?
It is on my, because they're all together in like Paris right now.
Oh, really?
The show's canceled. Oh, I just knocked my pop filter.
You got excited.
I did. 'Cause the show canceled. 1 season, 9 episodes, canceled. Even though it was like so well received, it wasn't well received by the people, the kids.
Yeah.
It was well received by the adults. But they canceled it. So, yeah, it sucks. but everybody's together right now in France for like a convention. So I wore my Julie and the Phantoms shirt, and I've been listening to the soundtrack all day, and I'm reminiscing on that time because I feel like around this time anyway, because it's been 2 years. Around this time anyway, I get very reminiscy with the soundtrack. I watch the show. I do my little routine that I used to have with those two friends kind of by myself now because, like, I miss it. It's a good show. Watch it, Tegan.
I will.
I'll be
watching Canadians.
I'll be watching the Netflix.
I love me some Canadians, if you cannot tell.
Charlie Gillespie. Love
Lemon.
him. I'm just gonna start sending
Priyanka.
Yes, but I'm gonna start. Those are your. I gotta show you my Canadian. You showed me your Canadians. I gotta show you my Canadian. It's a singular Canadian because the other one's from Oklahoma and then Florida.
Okay.
But that singular Canadian little Canadian boy, I'm gonna start sending you just TikToks, and you're gonna
go for it.
We're gonna watch it.
I will watch it. I promise.
We're gonna get you to. It's literally it takes, from experience, it takes 4 hours to watch it in a single sitting.
Okay, good to know.
It's not that long.
I'm kind of waiting
but
for
you do gotta
break.
You do gotta be aware that it's one season and it's probably never coming back.
Okay, I'll be very aware.
So there's a lot of unanswered questions, but I'm going to quit talking about it because you need to deal with it for yourself.
Okay. So how old did I say I was when I got my first one?
19.
Okay, that's right. So about 5 months later, I got my second one.
Okay.
And it is a Carrie Underwood lyric from See You Again. And it says, I will carry you with me till I see you again.
Okay.
And it is for my grandma and grandpa and one of my good friends, Carrie, who passed away. My grandma had Alzheimer's disease.
Okay.
And I don't remember the exact year that she passed, but it was very hard seeing her diminish in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest grandkid on that side. Well, my brother's the oldest. So my brother had a really, really, really good connection with with our grandparents. And he has a lot more memories than I do with them. Since he's 8.5 years older than me. But seeing somebody you love suffer from Alzheimer's is rough.
I bet.
My grandpa passed in 2020. Nothing due to COVID or anything, but it was health issues, but he basically gave up on himself. He wouldn't go get help. He was having heart issues. He wouldn't go get help. And then my friend Carrie, she had a blood clot in her leg, and she died suddenly. And I remember being at League, and I got the news from my cousin, who was on the same team as her. She was an old bowler friend of mine. And all three of them had made such a huge impact on my life that I always knew I wanted to get something tattooed on me to give respect to them and to make sure that they're always with me, because there's not a single day that I don't think about all three of them.
Totally.
Even with, like, past pets and all that stuff, too.
Yeah. I understand that because I have, I have all my tattoos listed and planned. So there's ones in there for, like, every family member, every pet, every, But I had to slow down because I was getting too many tattoos, and I wasn't even 19 yet, and I was like, yeah. But I totally understand the having tattoos for your loved ones, because I think it's a beautiful thing.
It is. That was, like, my first one, like, actual first one that my mom, like, truly agreed upon.
Yeah.
Especially, like, my dad. Once I told my dad the meaning, he was totally on board. And it's on the right side of my ribs.
Okay.
It's my biggest one, technically, because it covers the most surface area.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's just for all the people that I've lost, and I always think about them, and I try to live the best I can for them.
Absolutely. And that's the best way to, do it. That's the best way to do life, and the only way you should do life, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. my next one is above my knee. I got it maybe a week after I got my Julie and the Phantoms tattoo.
I know what one this is.
This one is my One Direction tattoo.
It is.
My Girl Almighty tattoo.
Mentioned that.
We mentioned it in our One Direction tier list.
Mm-hmm.
I was the fattest One Direction fangirl ever. Like, ever. So I had to get a One Direction tattoo, but this one was like a spontaneous one, like go to Tattoo Bob's 10 o'clock at night. I want that on me. But also it has meaning because it is matching with my friend Sammy, kind of unintentionally, kind of intentionally, you know. Like, I knew she had it, but I also wanted it, so then we got matching tattoos in a way. So, hey, Sammy, I know you listen. She does listen. But yeah, my Girl Almighty, One Direction lyric, but also to me it means that I'm the Girl Almighty. I can do whatever I put my mind to. Like, I'm strong and, you know, all that stuff. I did get, my mom hated it. Like, she's always been on board with all my tattoos, but she despises that one and, like, absolutely despises it. And I don't even know. Yeah. But it's kind of funny.
That is funny.
I like it, though. And then my three. Okay, we're on my fourth. My fourth one is my stick and poke. That, yeah. I have a stick and poke leaf tattoo on my ankle. Or is it my ankle? Or it's like my foot. It's like the side of my
ankle.
foot. My foot ankle. I don't know. It's random. We were wilding one night. We just did it one night. And I was like, okay, why not? Kind of doesn't even look like a leaf. I need to get it fixed. But we're not going to talk about it because I just got it, you know. That's all. That's all I'm going to say about it.
What was my next one? I think my next one is the one from my mom.
Okay.
And it's a Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata.
In her handwriting.
Cute.
Now, my mom and I have a good relationship, but a tricky one, I would say. Very, very tricky.
But as every relationship with, I mean, mothers, you know, relationships with mothers.
Yeah. Especially as of late, we don't really see eye to eye all that often. But my mom is and always will be my biggest supporter, I would say, in anything that I do. She was my first actual, like, coach in question marks for bowling. Whenever I would throw a bad shot or have a bad game or even a bad test grade or anything, she'd say Hakuna Matata because it's in the past. It's her favorite movie of all time. She loves The Lion King. She references it all of the time.
I love that.
And when she found out I wanted to get this tattoo, her reaction was priceless. Like, she was almost hysterical with how, like, happy she was.
That's
even though
sweet.
she is not one for tattoos, she knew how important it was to me, and she knew the story behind it because she was the one that, even when she coaches her own, like, middle school kids, because she coaches middle school, she always says, Hakuna Matata, it's in the past. And she loves Rafiki.
Cute. That's cute.
And she always, like, bops him in the head. And that's what I grew up with is, hey, it's in the past. You'll be okay.
Absolutely.
You'll make it out of it. And you'll survive. And be happy. And that's where I think about this tattoo is it's in the past.
That a lot.
Think to the future.
Okay. I like that a lot.
It's right on my chest right here.
She has cute handwriting.
She wrote it out a couple of times.
Okay.
I even had her pick out the one that she wanted me to get.
I love handwriting tattoos. I have quite a few because my Girl Almighty ones, I can't remember if it was in Harry or Louie's handwriting.
I'd cry if it was in Louie's. Louie's my man.
It's in one of their handwritings. I know that for a fact. And then I'm a big fan of handwriting tattoos. I have like 5 of them. So, yeah. But that one's really cute. I have yet to get my tattoo for my mom, but I know exactly what I'm doing for it. I think I showed you once.
I think so.
Because it's a Walking Dead tattoo.
Have you then? Maybe?
It's not technically Walking Dead, but it's a zombie tattoo.
You have
It's
then.
the zombie heart.
Yeah, you did.
The hands in the zombie heart. And I'm going to get it right on my forearm. I have yet to get, I think that one's probably my next one because I'm either going to get it below my elbow here.
That'd be cute.
Because all my tattoos are like
Right.
this way. And I need to start filling, like, other spaces. Because if I get it right on my forearm, then I'm going to have one on my bicep, one on my forearm, one on my wrist there. And I don't think that'll look good.
I mean, I'm sure it would.
Yeah.
But maybe give another spot a try.
Yeah. I think I'll probably have him, like, stencil it there.
Right.
And see. Because, I don't know. I think it will be really cute under my
I think so,
elbow
too.
there. Like, and then it will kind of wrap around a little bit. Anywho. Now I'm going to be itching, Tegan.
I'm sorry.
That might have to be a winter break tattoo. Because now I'm going to be itching. Okay. I guess it is my turn now.
It is your turn.
I had to write mine down because I
You have 11.
got lost. So my next one is in my childhood best friend's handwriting. And it's the words "feel real" on my ankle. This woman has been in my life for like, I don't know, 10 years now. And we got this right after our senior year of high school. And COVID happened in our senior year.
Right.
We didn't get a prom. We didn't get a homecoming.
You didn't get anything.
I didn't get any. I got a graduation. I did get a graduation. I graduated in 2021, so I wasn't with that group of 2020 kids.
Journey was in that group.
Yep. The group of 2020 kids who got, like, nothing. I was in the one after where we got, like, a little bit of something, but still, like, not really nothing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I was in that weird group, and we were obsessed with the TV show Teen Wolf during our senior year. And Teen Wolf is my favorite show ever. Like, ever. I've watched it since I was little. Like, that's always been my thing is Teen Wolf. And there's the song Feel Real by Dapforth Prep in it, and a banger of a song. But that's one of the songs we kind of based, our senior year off of. Like, whenever were out, we would play it. We, played it at our graduation parties. It was like a symbol of who we were and stuff. So we went and we got it. She has it in my handwriting, and I have it in her handwriting. I have mine on my ankle, and it's one of the only pieces of color I have on my body because it's black with the feel, and the red, or the real is red. In red. And I don't know, I just thought it looked kind of cool.
It does look
that
cool.
way. It's such a simple little, it's 2 words and they're tiny, but I think it's cute. And it has a lot of meaning to me.
Right.
Because it's in my best friend's handwriting, and it's, somebody I grew up with, and then our, like, favorite show, my favorite show, like, in a show we kind of just constantly was on for us in this time. Because for school, we would, we would have school till, like, 11 in the morning. We had 20-minute class periods. And so after these school, we both lived real close to the high school until she moved, because she moved our senior year. But we would go to, like, one of each other's houses and just sit and watch either Julie and the Phantoms or Teen Wolf. And just constantly those 2 shows. So a lot of meaning. And then the next one also has tons of meaning because it's for my grandma, who I just recently lost last month. And it is lilacs on my wrist because they lived in a house that's kind of been in the family for a long time. My mom owned it, then my grandparents rented it, then my aunt and, cousins lived in it. So there was a lilac tree outside the front of the house, and my grandma would pick the lilacs and put them up in the house, and you could just smell the lilacs from the lilac tree. And so when I got my one for my grandpa, that was my first one, and then I was like, man, I need something for grandma.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that they're positioned, the lilacs kind of go around the cloud. And I also have another tattoo that I'll get to later on that's kind of like that too. So I was kind of obsessed with symmetry in my tattoos when I first started getting them. So that's why I got it like this. But I mean, now, it has just so much more meaning. And it has meaning to me because my grandma got to see it before she passed away. And, I have it for her. So I always have a piece of her on my wrist with me. And it's also in color. It's it's faintly purple and green. I don't really like color tattoos. I'm not a fan at all, especially on myself. But it's right here on my wrist. And then I've got these on my left wrist because it's close to my heart. Yep. So that's my next two.
I didn't know the meaning as much for your grandma's tattoo.
Yeah. It's some of the best memories I have of my childhood are in that house. I want to get the street name. I want to get my street name tattooed. I want it like right in like that, not like up in the crevice, but below the crevice. I want my childhood street name that I still live on to this day. I've lived in the same house all 20 years of my life. So I want that street name tattooed on me, and then I want that other street name where my grandparents, all of them lived on me. So very meaningful.
Yeah. I can't believe that we have one that's very, very, very similar.
It's very similar. Yeah. I have tattoos for all my grandparents.
Okay.
Those are like the first tattoos I got for family members were for my grandparents, because in my life, especially like my grandma and grandpa on my dad's side were some of the most fundamental people in my life growing up. Like, they were always there. Like, I was constantly at their house. I mean, my grandma and grandpa on my dad's side, they raised me with my mom. My dad is in my life, but he's a dad, but he's kind of been absent at points of my life. So when my dad was doing his, own thing, my grandma and grandpa were there. So that's why I got my tattoos for them kind of first when I started getting tattoos, because I knew they were so meaningful to me, and I hold them very close to my heart.
I love that.
Yes. Love it.
Yes. So my next one is actually the one that you took interest in me by.
Yeah. Yeah.
Funny story there. My next one, which is my fourth one, is my lemon tattoo. It's a lemon branch with some little lemon sprig flowers, and I wonder if you can guess who that's for.
It's for Lemon.
The drag queen.
Yes.
Canada's Drag Race Season 1 was... I love that cast forever. But it was specifically Lemon and Priyanka that... yeah, and Bobo, really. But specifically Lemon and Priyanka that drew my eye, firsthand. And I wasn't planning on watching any of the international seasons.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. Because...
Those are your favorite.
Well,
now that
I'm
you've watched them.
Right. Canada's is... I actually prefer the international over the actual U.S. seasons, but that's tea for another time. But I was on YouTube one day, and I see Not Sorry About It, just the music video, and that's my first taste of Drag Race Canada. And I see a drag queen with a yellow wig and rapping her little ass off, and I said... She's different. I like her.
Yes, she's adorable.
I love Lemon. And I saw Priyanka later on in the video. I'm like, I like her too. There was just something about those two and their friendship.
Lemon in that is like, That's the best thing I've ever heard. Besides, like, Read You Wrote You, I think that's, even though I haven't seen the season yet, I've seen that. And I've seen half the season.
Right.
But I think, like, Read You Wrote You and then that one is, like, my favorite drag songs.
For sure. And I would, after seeing that, I'm like, I have to actually watch this season through and through because there's something about these two queens. And sure as shit, I was right. And that became my comfort season. If I was ever sad, which I fell into a really, really deep spot, like bad deep spot, when COVID happened. And that's about the time when the season came out. And even a little bit afterwards, I would always go to that season to get some type of joy. And it was specifically Lemon that made me happy. And it got to the point where I would get cameos just to put a smile on my face. Because nothing would put a smile on my face at all. And buying personalized message just to make you happy or a smile on your face to just say that you can make it through this by somebody other than your family. Because when it comes from your family, it becomes repetitive. You need to hear it from somebody else. I'm like, you can argue the point where this person doesn't even know you. But if they make you happy, it's gonna mean something to you, even if they don't know you. And I got a cameo one day, and I asked, what should I get a tattoo of? And she said, a little lemon. Duh.
Little lemon, duh. She's cute.
And I still have that cameo to this day, and I'll probably post it on the Facebook so you guys can see it. But I got a little lemon, and I tweeted it at her, and I got 500 likes because she retweeted it.
I love that.
But yeah, that Lemon is forever my favorite drag queen because there's just something about her that's radiant.
Yeah, and definitely.
Even
the tattoo's very radiant and noticeable too.
We'll get to that.
We will.
But when I went to nationals the first time around, when COVID happened, it was the second time technically, but it was a combined team because COVID just happened, and we were allowed to compete, but we only competed in 2 tournaments that year, and it was a co-ed team, and I got a cameo from Lemon expecting to get it before I competed, and I didn't get it until right after I walked out.
Yeah.
And I looked at it this past year, right before I competed for nationals this year, and sure as shit, the team won the national championship, and I won singles national champion. And it just hits different because Lemon came from a background of dance, and she went to school for dance. And we were both very tied into our realms, and mine just happened to be bowling, and theirs is dance. And we both knew, and it just makes me happy that I have a little lemon on my ankle, and that's how Brea and I actually met.
That is how we met. I'm very people aware.
She is.
I'm people watch really bad. Like, I catch myself just staring at people, and then I realize I'm staring, and I'm like, dude, you're 20. What's wrong with you? Like, why are you just hardcore watching these people? But we kind of knew of each other, I would say, from we were in a video class, so we had to post like this little introduction video. So I think we kind of knew of each other. And so I walked in and I sat down next to Tegan on the first day. But then what really sparked it was when she stood up and I was watching her walk away, and I could see the yellow, and yellow is my favorite color. So of course I'm like, what is that? What is that? And I was like, oh, it's little lemons. And so the first things I notice about people are like their tattoos.
I'm the same way. It's tattoos and eyes for me.
Mine's tattoos. I will if it's, and like I said, I people watch like a motherfucker.
You do.
So
we have fun in Walmart.
We do. I'm like, look at that. Yeah. But that's how we kind of
That's
got
how we actually started
associated
talking.
and then partnered up, and now here we are.
Yep, podcast partners.
So that's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My next one is also for grandparents. And in a way, I kind of count them as separate. So these are for my grandparents on my mom's side, my Nana and Pa. And I know it's pretty unique because I feel like one thing on it, you can't tell what it is because it's such a random thing, but it's not random. It's very meaningful to, who it's for. So the tattoo is for my Nana and Pa, and it's a cup of tea with cotton, like sprigs, I guess you'd call it, cotton sprigs around it. So I feel like cotton's like a random kind of thing, like you wouldn't expect to be tattooed on somebody. But I got cotton tattooed on me because my pa, who's passed away, he actually he passed away 2 years to the day that my grandma passed away this last year, October 16th. So that's not a good day for my family because they passed away on the same day, just 2 years apart. But my pa, growing up in Arkansas, he picked cotton as a 3-year-old little boy. He was running around picking cotton. And when I went to get this tattoo, I got this tattoo the same day that I got my lilacs. And I was like, yeah, cotton. And it's very unique, very thought out. And I'm very proud of it because, just that I managed to come up with it. And then around or above it, is that? The cotton is cradling a teacup.
Yes. So
that's so weird to explain. The cotton is cradling a teacup, and the teacup is for my Nana, who was his wife. And so my Nana, grandma, whatever. My Nana, who lived with us for a little period of time when she moved back from Arkansas, because I lived in Arkansas for a while growing up. And then my Nana moved back here before my pa and lived with me and my parents. And every night before bed, we would drink a cup of tea together. And every time I go over to her house, the first thing she offers me is a cup of tea. And, this tattoo also has such a dual meaning, too, for me, because coffee and tea, I say, has a big part in my life. I worked at a shop for 3 years. All my tattoos can have dual meanings, but the main meaning is for my Nana, and it has a heart on the middle of it, and it's symmetrical in a way to my other one from my other set of grandparents, which means a lot to me too. So and I don't know, very cute to me.
Very cute.
Very meaningful.
Yes, for sure.
And then my next tattoo has something to do with Julie and the Phantoms. Another one. And it's above it. It's above my ghosts, but I count them separate because I got them year apart. So my other one is Keep Dreaming. So the full lyric is, I just got to keep on dreaming, but keep dreaming. Because, keep dreaming, live your dreams, all that stuff. And there's a little butterfly too above it. And this tattoo is in Charlie Gillespie from the show's handwriting. This boy has the worst handwriting. It's bad. You can't even make out that it says keep dreaming. But it means so much to me because I know it says keep dreaming. You can make out keep, but the dreaming gets a little weird. But I love it. And it just has so much meaning because it's literally the lyric. And I live by that lyric. And that's from the song Stand Tall, which another, fantastic thing. So I kind of tied it together that the butterfly, because I didn't get anything to represent Julie, the butterfly is kind of Julie watching her boys.
That's cute.
Above, because the butterfly is kind of flying over. So that's my next two.
I like that. That's very cute.
Thank you.
So my next one is another very meaningful one, as it is for my dad. It is on my back, and I will never forget getting this tattoo because I fainted twice.
Oh, Lord.
Before the stencil was even on.
Why?
The alcohol smell on the back of my neck.
Oh, my God.
It sent me into overdrive, and I, full on fainted in the guy's arms. But this tattoo artist has done 5 out of the 6 of my tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, faint, pass out, but I was damn near close. But this tattoo is for my dad, and it is 2 deer antlers in the shape of a heart surrounded by lilacs.
Mm-hmm.
So growing up, my dad, brother, and I we have a cabin in Wisconsin, as I've previously mentioned. And we'd go out at night with a little flashlight in the car, and my dad would drive around, and my brother and I would all look for deer, and we would call them deer rides. And we would find any critter, any type of raccoon or deer, and we'd always point it out to each other. And those are some of the best memories I've held with my dad, is going out to Wisconsin and chilling out with him, looking for any type of animal, because he's a huge animal person. Mm-hmm. He loves being outdoors, and he loves deer. Mm-hmm. And that's another reason for the deer antlers. But the lilacs is a whole different story, like you said. But my family, growing up, we had a lilac tree in front of my room, in front of the house. And before my parents got divorced, my dad and I would always go out to the lilacs and pick some, put in a vase for my mom. Yeah. And we'd go, it was specifically white, but there was purple ones around from our neighbors or in another neighbor's backyard. But having 2 of those big stories combined with each other, and it just means a lot. Yeah. And he was the first one to see the tattoo. That's sweet. He full on cried. I've never seen my dad cry before, not like that.
No, it's pretty.
It's one of my favorites by far. Mm-hmm. It was painful.
I bet.
Having a tattoo on your spine, would not recommend. But
I'm probably going to do it anyway.
It's not fun, but...
Tegan, I have my knee tattooed.
I know you do. But yeah, that tattoo is something that I will always cherish, is for both my parents. Yes, my dad and I haven't always been on the best of terms like my mom and I, but that's just parents. That's how they are. And they both have had a very big part of my life. And I wanted to get something to represent both of them. So, yep.
Beautiful. Okay, you have one more.
Yep.
Okay.
And you were with me with that one.
Yep, I have 3 more.
Okay. So,
my next one is a cactus on the back of my calf that I have matching with my sister. So last September, September 2021, we went to Arizona very spontaneously. She kind of texted me one night, in August, hey, there's these $80 round trip tickets to Arizona. You want to go? And I was like, okay, why not? And so, we had a month to kind of pack and plan, and then we kind of just up and left to Arizona for a weekend. And so we got little cactus tattoos matching with each other to represent our little trip to Arizona. And I mean, that trip to Arizona was very meaningful to us because we just kind of lived our lives.
Somebody walked in.
And we kind of joke, did we even really like Arizona, or were we just high on life, And so it's kind of funny in a way. Okay, and then my next one.
Uh-oh.
I love Marvel.
You do love Marvel.
I love Marvel movies. I literally eat, sleep, and breathe Marvel most days. And so for my 19th birthday, I went and got my biggest tattoo. It was my biggest tattoo then. I have a one that's bigger. But it was my biggest tattoo for a year. And I didn't get a tattoo for a year after I had gotten it because I was like, oh my gosh, I really did that. So the Winter Soldier is my favorite Marvel character. And you've never seen you're not a movie person, But this man, I love him with my whole heart. The character progression, everything. But I have the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes's metal arm tattooed on my arm, and it's kind of like, it's very feminine. It's in like a bed of flowers, and I just got it. Like, there's no like, oh, he's inspirational to me because of this. Like, no, this man was brainwashed by Nazis, and I was like, yeah, Sebastian Stan. I don't know. I just got it. It's meaningful to the time in my life too. COVID.
Right.
COVID tattoos. So.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's very feminine, floral. I need to get the whites touched up, the highlights and stuff, because the whites kind of fell out, as whites do.
Whites do really, really quick.
I mean, they stayed for pretty much a year, and I'm just now looking at it and noticing that they're really kind of falling out. But yeah, that's my Bucky Barnes tattoo. So, and it's big.
It is big.
It's big and it's there, but it's cute.
It's about the same size as my deer tattoo.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I've never looked at the back of your neck very hard.
It's bigger, but the one on my ribs takes up the majority of the spacing.
Okay. Yeah, no. This one has probably the most detail. No, my other one. They're kind of tied, I bet.
Yeah.
In a way.
Well, with the flowers on that one and I don't want to spoil the other one, but
yeah.
I honestly think that one might be a little bit more detailed.
Really?
With the flowers, yeah.
Maybe.
The shading on it's beautiful.
Shaded. Shading is like, I'm fine with like straight line tattoos, but shading is one of the worst things I've felt.
Color is the worst thing I've ever felt.
I don't get color though. I don't get color. So I have the most smidgemest amount of color on me.
Yeah.
Like, not a lot at all. So, yeah.
It's not pleasant. Especially the leaves on my lemon tattoo. Ooh.
Oof.
Green specifically hurts.
I have a little bit of, but mine's literally like that much green. It's like the littlest amount of green. I'm not a color person. I thought about getting my big one colored. Thank God.
I would have prayed for you.
Yeah.
Because you barely got it through.
I barely got through it. I did, though, because I'm a bad bitch.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay. This is my most recent one, which I got in what?
I think it was June.
Was it June?
It was shortly after you got home.
Yeah, it was June then. So it's another drag tattoo. Believe it or not, it's on the other side of my ankle where my lemon one is. And it's for blue hydrangea, lemon, and Priyanka in that order. And when I was at DragCon, I had each of them draw a little heart for me because each of them have played out a different part in my time that I've known of them and how I look at them. As Brea's dying in the corner.
I just spilled water, like, down my shirt and my shoulder and everything. It's okay. We're fine. It's fine.
Let me see if I can find... I made a post about it on my personal Facebook, but I made it privated only to myself because I didn't want any judgment on it. Because the majority of my family is not for any type of that, and I'm like, I don't want any hate on the one of the most important things in my life.
Yeah.
But I've already talked about Lemon and how much she specifically has made a huge difference in how I look at things. I just had it and then I got rid of it. But Blue, I haven't really talked about, but Blue is the most creative, most artistic person, artist of any drag artist I've ever seen in my life. She and her art is outstanding. And Priyanka is just Priyanka. That's the best way I can describe her. I'm trying to find the post. because I wrote out specifically what each of them meant to me. We'll take a little cut here while I find it. It was June 3rd.
I remember it being pretty early into the summer.
It was.
Yeah.
It was right after I got home. Because I got home... DragCon was the 11th through the 13th. And I came back like a week later.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
Because I was giving this woman updates beyond updates, man.
Yes, she was.
And you are the mom friend because you were so excited.
I am. Because I'm like, I'm not going to be, I don't even know. There's people who will see their friends out and, like, doing something, like, that they, you know, want to be at. And they'll be bitter about it.
Very bitter.
I'm not that person. I'm over hooting and hollering at home, like, yes. I'm getting enjoyment out of seeing just what they're doing, you know? Like, I'm eating it up. I'm like, yeah.
You full on ate it up.
I was eating it up. I was loving every minute of just seeing, like, her reactions to everything and seeing the pictures. And like, I have probably every single picture saved on my phone that you took. Just because I was eating it up.
I love that. So I found it, and I said each of these queens helped me through the roughest time in my life because I went through it last year, and you saw it firsthand. I think it was Zach and Journey, specifically Zach, that saw the majority of what happened. And I will never fall in that deep of a space ever again.
Yeah.
But whenever I was sad or needed a break from life, I would watch Canada's Drag Race Season 1 or UK's Drag Race Season 1, which Blue was on UK Season 1 and Priyanka and Lemon were on Canada Season 1. And if I ever needed some type of pick-me-up, I would always get a cameo because I didn't mind spending the money.
Yeah.
If it was for happiness, I was desperate. And I finally got to meet them one-on-one. And I was scared that one of them was going to be not nice because there's always those horror stories of people meeting their favorite celebrities and being scared.
I've experienced that.
I was terrified that it was going to happen, and it didn't.
That's awesome.
Priyanka said I was gorgeous the moment she saw me, and I was about sobbing.
Because you got legs for days. What do you mean?
She said, you're a tall one.
Yes, because literally legs for days.
Yeah. And Priyanka was the first drag queen I ever met, and I'm so glad it was her. Because she welcomed me in with open arms, and she had never seen me. She called me gorgeous.
Yes.
Hearing you're gorgeous from a drag queen just hits different, I swear. And I hope that we get to go again next year.
I hope so.
Because I need to see them again.
Absolutely.
Just to get that adrenaline rush again because I've never been that happy in my life.
Absolutely.
In that moment, seeing Lemon specifically, I was about shitting my pants.
I'm dead.
But, so my left heart, which is blue, and it is reminding me of being creative and staying creative and that your art is your own and embrace your art. As an artist with video, with audio, there's always going to be somebody that doesn't like your work.
Exactly.
But it's your work. And if you're proud of it, it's yours and you got to own it. That's how I lived through that.
Absolutely.
If your art is yours, it's yours. Love it. And love yourself. That's what I think of when I see blue.
Yeah.
And then lemon is keep fighting. Times get hard, but you'll always manage to make it through. Keep working hard and everything will work out in the end. Because Lemon left her home when she was 19, moved on to New York City on her own as a broke student. And she made it through, and look where she is now. Living the dream with Priyanka. And then Priyanka is always remember who you are and your worth. Keep your personality shining. Her number one thing is, well, her entrance quote is, "What's my name?"
Mm-hmm.
And I always think of what's my name, and it makes me remember who I am and what I stand for.
Absolutely.
And, yeah.
That's beautiful.
Along with each of them just comes with ultimate happiness. And how they got me through that shit show of a time.
I mean, there's always figures, that are like that for you. That's like me with my boys.
Yes.
My little boys, my Julie and the Phantoms boys. There's always figures in your life that get you through those spots. And it's good to have those figures.
And I told them about the tattoo, and all three of them were ecstatic. And I tweeted it at them on Twitter. And Priyanka and I had a full-on conversation on Instagram.
Cute. That's great.
Lemon retweeted it, and Blue even commented on my post, and all three of them loved it. And that just means the world to me.
That's awesome.
They're on my leg forever, and they actually appreciate it, and they know how much it meant to me.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yep.
That's great. Okay, that was your last one. My last one I got like a month ago, and we've alluded to it because it was traumatic.
But it's pretty.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's my biggest tattoo, but it's around my kneecap. And that was like...
She does not recommend.
I do not recommend at all. I don't. Nope. I thought I was going to be cool. It is cool.
It is.
But I've never gotten sick during a tattoo before, and this tattoo made me sick. It was bruised, it was bloody, it was crusty, it was like the worst. And there's not even a meaning behind it. I just got it because it was pretty. And it made me so sick. And the healing, because when you walk, you rub it, or I couldn't put pants on for a week. Would not recommend. I was going to get both of them done.
I don't think that's happening now.
And that's not happening now.
She was texting me through it.
Yes, because I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
And I was by myself, too.
You were.
Like, nobody was there to, like, distract me. And I was just, like, the entire time. And there's not even, like, it's just mushrooms. It's mushrooms, and it goes from, like, up my upper thigh down to my shin. And around the knee. Like, it's, like, in a U. And it connects with my Girl Almighty tattoo.
Yep.
And it's big, and it took 3 hours, and I was sick the entire time, and it bruised after.
Yep.
And that's my whole story about my Girl Almighty tattoo. Because Lord have mercy, or not my Girl Almighty, my mushrooms. It's both. I mean, they're together.
Yeah.
But that was horrific, horrifying. And I don't even like eating mushrooms either.
I don't either.
But I got them. There's butterflies and snails and they're mushrooms and leaves.
Did you ever name your snails?
I did. What did I name them?
Because we had a whole conversation.
I feel like I named one Bill. And I feel like the other one was Bill. Phil and Bill.
I think you're right. It was Phil and Bill.
I feel like because they rhymed.
Yes.
Phil and Bill. And then 2 butterflies. And then there's like little sparkle, the little... the diamond-shaped sparklies. There's those and, like, just little dots. It's
very
cute.
pretty.
It's pretty. It's elaborate. It's big in trauma.
But painful.
Painful. I almost got it in color, and I almost got 2 of them.
I don't know how you wouldn't have. I don't know if you would have made it through the color.
I don't think I would have made it through I barely made it through. By the end of it, like, I was clenched. Like, toes, fingers, like...
Oh.
Like, I was done by the end of it. So I don't know what in my right mind made me think about doing that.
I mean, you never had it done before.
No.
So you didn't know.
No, I didn't. Honestly, I probably will get my other one, something around near or by my other one, but it's probably going to take me a few years. Because...
Traumatic.
Yeah. It made me sick.
Yeah. And we don't need that.
No. And it bruised. I've never had a tattoo, like, bruised before.
I haven't either.
It bruised. Yeah.
Huh.
It was weird. Like, right below my kneecap.
That would make sense, though.
Yeah.
With the area.
It does, but I've never seen a tattoo bruise like this before. And it was swollen for, like, weeks. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. It was a good time.
So that seems like your most painful tattoo by far.
Oh yeah. And everybody was like, everyone was like, your knee's gonna hurt. I was like, so what? So what?
It's pretty. So what?
It's pretty. So what? Like, yeah, shit happens.
Shit happens.
I don't know. I'm tatted, so that's what matters.
Mm-hmm. Tatted, pierced.
Tatted, pierced.
Yep.
Anywho.
Any plans for any others?
My mom, my two that like say Wilshire. I didn't mean to say the street name, but I mean there could be it's Wilshire, and I'm not gonna say the other one. I'm gonna get Boo and Sully from Monsters Inc. from my dad because he calls me Boo.
Aww.
And so yeah, I'm gonna get that. I have tons planned out. I'm gonna get for my other sister a lollipop because I call her my lollipop because of Key and Lolly. And she has a cloud for me. So I was gonna get a lollipop for her. Just a bunch. I want to get like a slate, a movie camera, and like a roll of film or something like that. I have tons planned out.
I love that.
So, what about you?
I was thinking, well, my brother and I are going to get a matching one because my brother is by far the most influential person in my life. True story. I had to do a tribute speech for my speech class, and I did it on my brother. And I had somebody come up to me, it was the next class period, so like 5 days later. And she said, that was a really beautiful speech that you gave about your brother.
That's awesome.
And I was almost in tears. I could have gone into more detail, but I would have cried in front of the class, and I was not going to do that. But my brother and I have plans to get a matching one. We just don't know what. But he is easily the most influential person in my life.
That's beautiful.
And I want to get Priyanka's little taste test question mark on me somewhere.
That's cute.
And I do, like, way in the future, I want to get my kids tattooed.
I'd like that too. I do want to get because my latest fixation has been like Stranger Things. I do want like a Stranger Things tattoo. I have so many plans. Now, let me just stop talking or else we'll be here for another 2 freaking hours. It's almost 8 o'clock at night.
It's okay.
It is okay.
I just don't know where I would put my kids' names, but
I don't know where I would put mine either.
I was thinking my left ankle.
See, I don't really vibe with like tattoos like on like the up here.
I don't either.
What is this? Is this like
upper arm?
Upper arm?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't either. I don't foresee any tattoos there right now. And plus I'm thick, so my arms are a little chunky. And I just don't like the way certain ones look. Like, yeah, I have it on, like, the inner part of up there. But like, the outer part. I'm just like, I cannot see a tattoo there right now. Like, maybe in the future I will. Maybe I'll get, like, a big piece for when I have kids or something like that. But for now, I just don't see anything on that parts of my arm. I don't know. I don't think it's a nice place.
Yeah, no.
To have a tattoo.
No.
I don't know why.
My brother has Harper and Graceland and their birthdays and like little flowers, and now he has to get Colin's. So that's gonna have to go in his middle back, and I will warn him.
Yeah, I think I want like little moons or something.
That'd be cute.
Anywho, I could go on for hours about tattoos.
Me too.
I just talked to a kid. He interviewed me for a class for down here, and we talked about tattoos. But I'm not even going to mention what we talked about tattoos because that could be a whole other episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, it could be a whole other episode, and so I'm not even going to bring it up.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Well. We'll see you on our next tattoo adventures, whenever that may be.
I know.
Who knows when the next one will be.
I have an uneven amount of tattoos, so.
I have an uneven amount of piercings. I've had that for a while, but.
This is rough.
I need one more to make it to 20.
I have like $7, so a tattoo is not in my foreseeable future right now. Okay. Anywho.
We'll talk to you in the next one.
We will see you on the flippity flop.
Flippity flop.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.